Welcome to Lit with Ernest, where we dive into the lives and works of the most influential figures in literature. Born in 1925 on the island of Martinique, Fanon's life was marked by a fierce determination to understand the human condition, particularly in the context of colonialism and racism. As a young man, Fanon was deeply influenced by the harsh realities of colonial rule in Martinique. He saw firsthand how the French colonial system dehumanized and marginalized Black people, stripping them of their culture, language, and identity. This experience would later shape his writing and inform his critiques of colonialism and racism. Fanon's educational journey took him to France, where he studied medicine and psychiatry. It was during this time that he became increasingly interested in the works of philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger, whose ideas about existentialism and human freedom would later influence his own writing. Fanon's experiences as a Black man in a predominantly white society also had a profound impact on his thinking, leading him to write about the ways in which racism can damage the psyche and erode a person's sense of self. One of the most significant events in Fanon's life was his experience during World War II. As a member of the French resistance, Fanon fought against the Nazi occupation of France, an experience that would later inform his critiques of colonialism and oppression. After the war, Fanon returned to Martinique, where he became increasingly involved in the island's independence movement. Fanon's major contributions to literature are numerous, but perhaps most notable is his book, Black Skin, White Masks, which explores the psychological effects of racism on Black people. In this work, Fanon argues that colonialism and racism have created a sense of inferiority among Black people, leading them to internalize negative stereotypes and doubt their own worth. This book was a groundbreaking work that challenged existing literary frameworks and paved the way for future generations of writers to explore themes of identity, culture, and power. Another significant contribution is Fanon's book, The Wretched of the Earth, which explores the role of violence in liberation movements. In this work, Fanon argues that violence can be a necessary tool for oppressed people to overthrow their oppressors and achieve freedom. This idea was controversial at the time, but it has since become a central theme in discussions about colonialism, imperialism, and social justice. Fanon's legacy is complex and multifaceted. On the one hand, his work has had a profound impact on literature and related fields, influencing writers like James Baldwin, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and Angela Davis. His ideas about identity, culture, and power have also shaped the field of post-colonial studies, which explores the ways in which colonialism has shaped our understanding of the world. On the other hand, Fanon's work has been subject to criticism and controversy, particularly regarding his views on violence and revolution. Some have argued that his approach is too simplistic or that it glorifies violence without considering its consequences. Others have criticized his views on women's liberation, arguing that they are patriarchal and dismissive of the experiences of women. Despite these limitations, Fanon's work remains essential reading for anyone interested in understanding the human condition. His writing has a way of cutting through abstraction and getting to the heart of the matter. As the first always say, good writing is like a well-placed shot while hunting. It hits true and leaves a lasting impact. From Coates's exploration of racism in America to Davis's work on intersectionality and social justice, many have drawn on Fanon's ideas to explore issues of identity, power, and liberation. His writing reminds us that literature is not just about aesthetics or entertainment. It's also about confronting the harsh realities of our world and imagining a better future. One example of Fanon's influence can be seen in the work of the Black Lives Matter movement, which has drawn on his ideas about racism, identity, and liberation. The movement's emphasis on intersectionality, for instance, owes a debt to Fanon's work on the ways in which different forms of oppression intersect and overlap. That's all for today's Lit with Ernest. Like this episode if it hit true. Share it if you respect honest talk about books. Subscribe, because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.